You see your priorities. The budget is beginning to betray your priorities. You give all of the women in Ghana who are looking for this bank 51 million, and then you give research at the office of the president 70 million Ghana cedis. You are beginning to see your priorities.
So you see, the way the Ghanaian parliament, they deliberately, thoroughly scrutinize point by point, sector by sector, the things then where the president puts inside the budget. But our own, on your mandates we shall stand. Hey! Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan don't accuse the Nigerian Senate liking it to a court. Say it like saying a court. Because and I make a lot of people need to feed the talk. Could it be why even though say this 10 Senate, now one of the most diverse Senates we get, where we say we not just get PDP and other parties or PDP and APC, but we get PDP, we get APC, we get Labour Party, we get NNPP, we get Youth Party, we get different parties. But even at that, even like say the members they need to feed the talk because decisions them way be say we know say they clearly unconstitutional. When they see them abide by them, and when they fit talk now, things they happen for inside. You know what happened for this River State case and suspension of the state of emergency and the suspension of the governor. Where it be say with the kind of opposition what we get, the Senate was supposed to get 2/3 votes. The National Assembly generally, including the House of Representatives, not supposed to get 2/3 votes. But what happened when they say the yea have it and the nay have it? You not even can't hear the nay voices again. It can't be like say the nay. Listen to them.
So we put the question. Are we ready for the question? Are we ready? Those in support of this request of Mr. President as amended should say aye. Aye. Those in support of this request from Mr. President as amended should say aye. Those against should say nay. There is have it.
So it shock you, right? And you'll be wondering where the voices of the and it can't be like say this in way that Natasha talk natural because if you go to the Senate, see the argument will happen between Sarah K. Dixon and the Senate president. It then like say everybody they fear to talk to the Senate leader. Why? Would they kill you? Or what will happen? Well, listen to what happened between Senator Dixon, Sarah K. Dixon, and the Senate president, and how the Senate president used the talk to them without respect. It be like saying can't realize himself, so it be like saying on national TV. He can't hold himself. But the anger they inside them, listen to him.
If we argue, it won't be good for any of us. We are all distinguished people. You are a former governor, I'm a former governor. Let us, please, off the mic, sit down. Please be seated. I watched you on television, and you said no matter what the Senate does, the Senate will never go with you. The Senate will not go with you. Well, I said you said no matter what this Senate does, the Senate will not have your vote on anything the Senate does. That's what you said on television. I don't know, but I'm saying that if you have already made up your mind to go and talk on television when the Senate has not even considered any issue, I want to let you know.
To me, please.
I'm not arguing with you. I'm only saying please allow me to preside. Allow me to preside.
Make my point.
Stand up and make a point.
Thank you, Mr. President. Please, you know, we must have mutual respect for all of our colleagues, okay? And I do have regard for you, particularly as our presiding officer.
I appreciate
And I think that should be reciprocal.
So does this tell you something? Now, listen to what Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan said with the BBC when the BBC get interview with BBC Africa and waiting she talk for that interview with BBC Africa about why a lot of people need to feel talk for inside the Senate. Why everybody mad they like say zip, no matter the party. Why would they talk? Say, oh, then give them 160 million naira vehicle. Why some of them no reject them? Why they no feel say, why who go fit talk based on this in way Senator Natasha talk? Just listen to her.
I am being victimized. My suspension is a means of silencing me. You see, in the Nigerian Senate, it operates like a court. Even the opposition have been silenced. You wonder, why is the Nigerian Senate not as vibrant as that of South Africa's or Kenya? I mean, there are other parliaments we see. There is this culture of fear.
Fear of who?
Fear of the institution, fear of the leadership, fear of the Senate president. I mean, if you confront the Senate president or if you express contrary views, yeah, you risk a chance of being stripped of your privileges. You will not speak. If you are a member of certain committees, like what happened to me, you will be removed. You will be sidelined of very important programs that you think could help project your own expertise. You will be cut off a lot of privileges. And that is undemocratic.
Little wonder when make people they talk say, well, now 3 arms of government you don't get now: the judiciary, the executive, and the legislature. See am for this cartoon. Well, how do we run a democratic institution like this? Or how do we run a democratic government like this? When it be like, say, the judiciary, the executive, and the legislature, it be like, say, all of them, they in sync. Because if you look at the judgments where they come out from our Supreme Court, now just tell me, one of the judgments where it be say Supreme Court pass against River State. This is just an example because there are other judgments. Judgments where Supreme Court pass against River State, where it caused these troubles too. Now, the judgment, according to a lot of people, the case will get to do with the eligibility of the House of Assembly members as then decamp, whether they still be genuine House of Assembly members, still there before a lower court. But the Supreme Court does stylishly already, by the judgment where it passed, already attend to them by saying, now them must give budget. Their led assembly must pass a budget. That the Supreme Court already attend to them. Was that... Meanwhile, the original case, where it be said they don't file to determine the eligibility day before a lower court. That one now one. Secondly, again, waiting it be said then talk about the judgment then we get to do with local government. Well, I started Dr. even talking for inside the interview.
Matters that were not before her and start to make decisions on those matters. The issue of defection was not before the Supreme Court. The issue of defection is still at the High Court. So how did the Supreme Court get those matters into the Supreme Court to make pronouncement on it? Other than that, there were people behind the scene dictating to the Supreme Court what the Supreme Court ought to say. So they have said it. And I think the governor was in a haste to have accepted the judgment.
Now, make we leave all don't matter and the answer Dr. interview where we say talk about inside this interview. Then make we enter inside the matter we get to do with the River State judgment. Now, one of the judgment for inside the River State, or one of the things that the Supreme Court talk, it talk say then go seize their location for River State, pending when the legislature for River State go fit hold or pass a budget where go to acceptable. So what make them no go fit give Fubara allocation? Now, because of say Fubara no go fit they run the government, a democratic institution, without all tiers of government complete. It get the judiciary, it gets the executive without legislature, as Amewole team no day together. So say until the legislatures fit sit together, pass a budget, say they no go give them allocation. Now, today, the federal government don't give allocation to the sole administrator of River State. Excuse me, is it that the federal government, they bigger than the Supreme Court, so they get to deliberately disobey the Supreme Court judgment, or the federal government might tell the Supreme Court to pass that judgment like that, and they go fit on them anyhow way they like later on. Or maybe they just they neglect the Supreme Court judgment, it no matter because the Supreme Court really no matter that much. What could it be? Because if the Supreme Court said that they are seizing allocation of a state pending on when they pass a genuine budget, a legitimate budget passed by the legislators will be high percentage of people where they represent their constituencies. They no go give them allocation. How come the federal government unilaterally on their own give the sole administrator, where not from River State, where from Cross River State, where not be a River State person, give them the budget without the legislature? Remember, the legislature, they don't cancel them. The executive, they don't cancel them. They don't suspend all of them. Even while on suspension, and against the Supreme Court judgment that there must be a budget before the allocation will be given. But the federal government don't on their own, with their veto power, give the allocation. So you see what I'm saying? That if you like say get something where they do also inside this country, all tiers of government, if you like say everybody just there anyhow. Because that's why, going back to what Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan talk about our government, this thing when they do me one kind. Now look back at the legislature. Waiting this Obi Agwocha try to talk, when he try to say, make them count the number where they day for inside the house, so that they go know whether they go really get the two-third. Here waiting the speaker tell them. And truly, if you look at the number of people within that house, they reach 240. because it's supposed they to third. They reach, watch them.
Honorable Speaker, my distinguished colleagues, my name is Honorable Obi Agocha. I represent the great people of Iguano, whom I had South Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, since the President's letter concerns proclamation, Mr. Speaker, the constitutional procedures that must be followed as enshrined in Section 305, subsection 6B, that says for us to consider this President's request that this House must have two-thirds of members present. Mr. Speaker, may I please ask...
We already have our attendance registers, honorable colleague, and we will rely on that to ensure.
Mr. Speaker, this is a constitutional...
Yes,
Can we do a head count, Mr. Speaker?
That
we
is not...
ascertain that we have a quorum.
Yes.
We ascertain that we have...
Yes, yes. Our attendance register will guide us accordingly, honorable. Please. Sir? Our attendance registers will guide us accordingly. Members are still signing, and at the end of the day, we'll take attendance.
Mr. Speaker, can that be made available now for the members to know whether we have formed a quorum? Whether we have formed a quorum, Mr. Speaker, as enshrined in the Constitution, Mr. Speaker, so that our deliberations are not going to be deliberations based on illegality.
It is noted, honorable. Please, you can sit down. Sit down, please.
And you know, the most painful part of all of this, just our backyard here, Ghana, our Ghana brothers them. They scrutinize their budget recently. We said the executive present before them. And they try scrutinize them. If you see the way they were thoroughly scrutinizing this budget and asking questions, watch that video.
The second point I want to draw your attention to is that your budget, even the one that you brought, your budget, it betrays your priorities. You see, like they say, don't tell me what your priorities are. Show me your budget, and I will see what you value. This budget that you have brought is a budget in which you have told us, first of all, that you value Ghanaian women so much that you are going to set up a bank for them, the Women's Development Bank. You have put $51 million allocation, 51 million cedis, 51 million cedis allocation in this budget for the Women's Development Bank. And then you have put 70 million cedis for research at Jubilee House. You see your priorities? The budget is beginning to betray your priorities. You give all of the women in Ghana who are looking for this bank 51 million, and then you give research at the office of the president 70 million Ghana cedis. You are beginning to see your priorities. Honorable Deputy Minister, you told us that something has happened that's never happened. The president has gone to negotiate minimum wage. How much? 10%. By the way, the previous administration did way better, 25% plus. But while you are increasing minimum wage by 10%, you have increased the compensation budget at the Office of Government Machinery by over 720%. Over 720%. This is what the leader of the minority said, that very soon we will see the true colors of the umbrella. You see, your priorities are beginning to show. You need not less than about 1 billion Ghana cedis to close the infrastructure gap within senior high schools. You say you don't have fiscal space, you don't have money for it, but you have found 4.1 billion cedis to buy gold. Gold that was being bought from liquidity that was being brought into the jurisdiction by foreign companies that wanted to buy the gold. Now you want to take taxpayers' money, 4 billion Ghana cedis, to go and buy gold. Are you seeing your priorities now? You have made available 100 million Ghana cedis for capital expenditure at the Office of Government Machinery. What are you buying there? More cars or what? 100 million Ghana cedis for capital expenditure. And yet, you say to the young people of this country that there is no space. Paragraph 478. That's why I'm worrying whether you've read it. Paragraph 478. You say there's no fiscal space to recruit young people into the public service. But you find 100 million Ghana cedis for capital expenditure, to buy cars and other things. Are you seeing where your priorities are? If I take you into a further analysis of your own numbers. Honorable Deputy Minister, your own numbers. Like my brother John Jinapo used to say, Mr. Speaker, we have run the regression analysis and the correlation analysis on this side, and we know all the figures. I'm happy he's here in the chamber. Mr. Speaker, we have also run the analysis. If you look at compensation allocations, Honorable Deputy Minister, do I have your attention? You will find that for the Office of Government Machinery, you have allocated 2.7 billion for compensation. By the way, when it was 327, you used to complain and do press conferences. Now it's 2.7 billion. But what is even more worrying, the economic sector ministries, 7 of them, the ones that are responsible for generating growth, expansion of the economy and jobs for people, you have given them a paltry 2.2 billion Ghana cedis. You value Office of Government Machinery compensation more than 7 economic ministries. You were telling us a few minutes ago that infrastructure is the most important thing. While you have made available 2.7 billion cedis for compensation at the Office of Government Machinery, Honorable Deputy Minister, if you check your budget, the numbers, do you know how much you have given for compensation for the infrastructure sector ministries? A paltry 700 million Ghana cedis. So your budget is showing your priorities.
You see, the way the Ghanaian parliament, they deliberately, thoroughly scrutinize point by point, sector by sector, the things then where the president puts inside the budget. But our own, oh hey, guess Nigerians, see what we did when our president presented budget to us.
So we now invite our distinguished president, a man of focus, a man who loves the National Assembly, the one that will support you to support your constituents, to now present the 2025 budget.
After listening to this great remark of a great mind, colleague, and the president of the Senate, I feel I could have just laid the budget.
On your mandates we shall stand. Hey! And you call us a serious country, Abi? Country way serious like this. Now we sing on your mandate for president, we come pass budget. And guess what? The budget, we come present budget. And guess what? That budget will pass them without scrutinizing the items of that budget. Even when Aero5 son, they repeatedly they talk, say, we cannot be buying some items like computers, fridges, television, spoons, knives, forks, that these things don't spoil. But we continue with that budget. We not see where they re-scrutinize those budgets to show, say, they don't commode those items then when they decay or when they spoil or when they rotten. We pass a budget like that. What are we in this country? Are we truly practicing democracy in Nigeria, or we're practicing a system of government that is only known to us? And then the question where I get to ask now, how can we move forward like this as a country? Which way Nigeria? Maybe now, what's it make person like Shawari they talk, say the only way we'll go feel rescue Nigeria is through a revolution. Because if you do election from today to tomorrow, it'd be like say they don't already get election result before the election happen. I am not calling for anarchy. I'm not calling for revolution. No, and they just they talk with Shawari talk. I am just interpreting what he said. Well, kindly drop your thoughts, your reactions, and all that under here. Because even as it get to do with the pipeline, we be said and burst. Now, the River State women then come and talk and say, it is Wike that bursted that pipeline so that they would already do this thing that they did. That Wike, now say made them burst the pipeline so that they could do this thing we didn't do. And I wish Wike would come and respond and say, no, he's not the one. Because the governor don't come and come talk. Has not come out physically because they don't know, they don't see no whereabouts. But there was a statement released on his behalf when in reply to everything where president talk and exonerates himself, say the president know they correct for the things they win judge and wrongly for. As this Niger Delta women then don't talk now, say now Wike burst the pipeline. Do you think there is any atom of truth for inside that? Go watch their video.
Oil pipeline blown up. Did it happen in a Niger territory? Who blow it up? I tell you for free. Quote me, is Wike. It's orchestrated. It is pre-planned before even it happened. Because in his media chat, he made it clear. He said they will blow up pipeline. Is it only them that have monopoly of blowing up pipeline? Did he not say that? Yes. So how come the pipeline went off if it wasn't pre-planned or orchestrated? Princess Comrade Mrs. Rosemary John Odwane. And I will tell you for free, you can see the atmosphere woman feels at this moment. We are first saddened by the fact that we lost a father in the person of Chief E.K. Clark. And in the bid of it, Pandev went to see Mr. President. At that point, for me, it becomes like a coup that was plotted for our elders. Because that visit was on the 11th. And on the 12th of March, the FCT minister had a media chat. So why didn't that media chat come ahead, way ahead of time? Why wait until Pandev went to the villa to meet with Mr. President? So it was an orchestrated plan that was executed to rubbish the Niger Delta leaders and then coming out to the press chat to steal that nonsense that they have orchestrated. It was a coup plotted against the region, and our elders were innocently that they fell into ambushed and fell into that trap. Because one of the issues Mr. President talked about was going back. He charged the elders to go back and make peace with Wike and his godson, who happens to be our own son and his just son, ruling as the governor of River State for the first time after 24 years of democracy in River State, that an upland have led the people. So for me, it was a coup, like I said. Now, coming to our question, we are calling on the international bodies because now he has declared a state of emergency. That is to tell you he has paralyzed every structure in the state. And also trying to now shift the blame to Fubara. How did the crisis started? Where is Wike in all of this problem? Is Fubara going to bear the brunt of it all and Wike will be working as a free man? Ijaw people has always bear the brunt of all the crises, even in the Niger Delta region. Oil pipeline blown up. Did it happen in a Niger territory? Who blow it up? I tell you for free. Quote me, is Wike. It's orchestrated. It is pre-planned before even it happened. Because in his media chat, he made it clear. He said they will blow up pipeline. Is it only them that have monopoly of blowing up pipeline? Did he not say that? Yes. So how come the pipeline went off if it wasn't pre-planned or orchestrated? So we call on Mr. President to review his actions taken against the job people. Because an injury to one is an injury to all. I am from Bayelsa State. I am not a Rivers woman, but I am an Niger daughter. And I stand here as an Niger daughter to convene this meeting so that we will send our message clearly. Alameseya was wrongly impeached, just like in a movement like this. And today is the turn of Fubara. Are they saying that the job people are not good for governance? So can we be laying the goods, the egg that lays the goods, and then we will be sidelined from milking from the federation account? In the first, Fubara allocation was seized from Fubara. Who dare them? Who dare Wike? How big is Wike? How big is he? Who made Wike? And I asked again, who made Wike? And the German made Wike. Today, does he have respect for President Goodluck Jonathan? No. Does he have respect for Dime Bifaka, who held his hand and took him to Peter Odili, does he respect her? No. And does Wike need respect? No. And so I asked again, who is Wike? Nobody. Who is he? That Wike will denigrate all of Ijaw nation. Wike telling us that Asawana is for our gods. Thunder should fire Ijaw. Thunder will continue to fire Wike. The oil and gas passes through our ancestral land. Bringing an Akwa Ibomite to come and rule over River State will not work. It will not work. They might not touch me. It not go work, eh? It not go work. This state of emergency declared in River State is a state of emergency declared against the Ijaw nation. It is unconstitutional, it's a rape of our democracy, and we call on Mr. President to review his action against the Ijaw people. Because we can call for an ethnic war, and that is what is playing out.
So you be like, say, we're in a long thing inside this country. Well, kindly drop your thoughts, your reactions, and all that under here. I would like to hear from you as all this matter then take to you, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us and watching. Make sure you subscribe if you never subscribe to this page. I love you. I appreciate you. I'll see you next time. My name is Precious Inyi. Welcome and goodbye.